what is multidimensional really mean, because we live in a time where thoughts becomes things much faster. So we are here creating ourselves, creating a reality. We are multidimensional. We are actually the light, the source expressed in this reality as matter. And everything has a frequency, everything has a vibration, everything is vibrating. Every level I exist. We start creating our realities. Can travel through different dimensions by just merely shifting my awareness. Hello everyone, welcome to this video. In this video I'm going to talk about what does being a multidimensional mean truly, and what is prayer, and what is oneness. So let's go ahead and talk about those deep subjects. But this is something that every spiritual master talks about. Every spiritual texture or even religious texture talks about this oneness thing, and what does that truly mean for me. And I'm going to share my views, my take, my inner knowing about it, and what I truly understand from these words, or from these ideas. Okay. And for everybody who's watching me really religiously my videos, I'm so grateful to you. Thank you. I'm really, because of you I get inspired to do more videos. So thank you, and please do share your comments. And those of you watching me for the first time, you just came across this video, then please subscribe to my channel, because I talk a variety of stuff. Okay. So my website is paripatri.com. I am a spiritual women empowerment leader, meditation teacher, and also I also work on a non-profit organization called Pyramid Spiritual Societies Movement Global, to teach meditation, to build pyramids, and spread the awareness of plant-based food diet. And also I teach. I'm an energy worker. I work on crystals extensively, on pyramids, how to combine these different spiritual tools to get the most amplified effect and faster. That's who I am. So I coach women to get into that manifestation frequency faster and make it happen. Okay, all right, that's who I am. Now, so I have been my background is that I have learned these spiritual terms about that I am not a body, I'm a soul, past life incarnations, all these subjects, the chakras, the kundalini, and all, astral traveling, all of these subjects I've learned, but I've never truly, had that knowing within me about what that is. So I had to go through my own meeting the dark night of the soul. I had to hit my rock bottom and rise from there. And that is a whole story that I share in almost all my talks, which I'm not going to do today. But I really wanted to share with you about what is multidimensional really mean, and how does it even relate to manifestation. Okay, this is the core I want to share with you, because everything that I teach normally correlates with manifestation. And my goal, my intention is to help you, support you in giving yourself permission to dream big, to dream massively big, and give you tools to manifest that. How do you manifest that and really make it faster? Because we live in a time where thoughts becomes things much faster. So but that's why we need the clarity, and we need to know the mechanics of how the universe works, so that we can take that information and use it in our practice to manifest our desired reality. Okay, sounds good? Okay, let's talk about it. Now, our body is made up of trillions and trillions of cells, correct? And the cells have, in the core, they are made up of atoms, molecules and atoms. Now, atoms has this neutrons and protons, and electrons, correct? So, and the electrons are going around the in an orbit, and the mass, actually, the what the scientists say is it is made up of 99.999% just empty space. Okay, well, empty space is called by various different names by the scientists, but to make it easy, we're going to just, it can be vacuum or ether or whatever the scientists call, but it's just space, empty space. And the matter is just 0.001%. Now we pack all of these molecules and atoms together as cells and pack these cells. It is just space packed together with a bit of mass, and that's what we perceive as mass, that's what we feel as mass. Okay, matter. This is matter because that's how we see it. Now, that's one aspect of it. So, and in the core, what the scientists talk about is, in the core, when you open up the atom, what they have found is it's a burst of protons, photons, which is the light. Photons is light. So inside the cell, there is this light, which is, that's why we are also known as the light bodies. What is a light body? It is the body of light, the actual core of the blueprint of you, of your essence, of your signature pattern. And that blueprint in it has the cells, and which has this light. And there are distortions created through us, of course, by our thinking, by our belief systems, by the environment that we live in. The distortions, what they do is, once the light is taken away, when there is no light within that cells, that's when the cells start dying, and we start getting ill. We start having physical problems, mental, emotional, and even spiritual problems. So we get into that trap because of, and all of this is, and the atom, this atom is continuously vibrating. Everything is vibration, everything is frequency. Okay, new term, frequency. Everything is energy, everything is frequency, and everything is vibrating continuously. The thoughts have frequency, our belief systems have frequency, our words, the words that we speak, have frequency. The color, I'm wearing a black, the color has frequency. The water I drink, this water has a programming in it, and that has a frequency. So everything is frequency. All right, so that's something that we have established. Now that I have taken water, let me drink, have a sip now. Okay, so now we talked about the light inside our bodies, the light bodies, and having a frequency, having a very specific frequency. Now, when I say we are multidimensional beings, that means we live in. Before I go that, let me talk about the source. Okay, we all come. These are really, really big subjects, and I'm trying to put it in my words, because I want to give you what I understand, and you may tell me, hey, you know what, this is not right, this is how I understand, your take on this subject, and I would love to hear from you. Okay, but this is something that this is how I understood, and this is my take about it. Okay, and also, I'm not saying this is the only take. Okay, there are many different versions, and this is what I understand at this point. All right. And so we come from the source. The source is just one. We come from the source, and when we are coming from the source, and within the source, that it is just ease. There is no right or wrong. There's no perspective. It's just another. It's just ease. There is no associated judgment around it. Okay, so when we come from the source, there are different levels of dimensions and densities, or whatever we may call it. And every density, there's density of sound, light, and it has its own mechanics going on. It has its own geometric pattern, vibration that happens, and it gets filtered through that frequencies. So it's like a prism. When the white light goes in the prism, it becomes the different rays. It is the source itself, but it has become the different expression of the white light itself. In the same way, when we come from the source, we become a different expression of the source itself, because we have created ourselves, or the creation, to create itself and to see the potential of creation. So we are here creating ourselves, creating a reality. And when we come into the third dimensional, so we exist in all these different dimensions. We exist in every dimension because we are the source. We are the powerful co-creators, and we are all one. We are all one. It is just we are just a hologram of the source itself. So a hologram consists of the whole picture in it. So within us, there is the whole multiverse and the information encoded within us. And when we exist in all these levels. Because that is the multidimensional being. That is who we are. We exist in all these levels. Now, in the third dimensional, that is the third density or the earth, the 3D matrix, when we come, there is a whole duality pattern here: the evil, the good, the light, the dark, male, female. There's a lot happening. There's a different perspectives. There's me, there's I, there's you. So there's this isolation, there's separation happening. So we do not connect to that oneness concept immediately because of the loss of the 3D matrix, because of the free will. It has its own mechanism that is happening, and I'll talk about it, which I talk about in all my videos about this concept. Now, so again, first point is we are multidimensional. We are actually the light, the source, expressed in this reality as matter. And everything has a frequency, everything has a vibration, everything is vibrating. So in a spectrum of vibrations, say for example, the visible spectrum, we in the whole spectrum, we only actually, there's a small piece of spectrum that we actually can see. If you go back to your science class and you see the spectrum, you'll see there's a whole big section that you cannot actually, it's not in you cannot perceive that light. It exists, but you cannot perceive because of what the limitations of the 3D matrix or of physical dimension. So, but the frequencies exist. It always exists. It is always there. Now, coming to, so we are multidimensional. We exist in every level. I am existing in the 3D level, in the fourth density, fifth density, sixth, seventh, and the source. I exist in every level. Every level I exist. But our point of reference, our reality is where our consciousness, our awareness exists. That is our reality for us. So if your awareness is in the present moment, your reality is this. If your awareness is somewhere in Hawaii or in the past or in the future, you left this moment, this reality, and your awareness shifted. You're actually in that virtual reality, not in the present moment. Okay, so you are now getting into that frequency. So based on what your thoughts are, based on what your belief systems are, or even when we actually listen to some songs, we actually travel to that time, to that emotion. We can feel it in our heart. Did you ever feel that when you listen to a certain song, a memory pops up and you get associated with that, and you can feel it in your heart because you're actually living that reality in while listening to that song. So the songs have frequencies. In the same way, when you smell something, a food, a very favorite food, maybe something that your mother made, and if you smell that again, you actually get transported back to that childhood days and thinking about those memories, right? So we all have that. So we all can travel to different awareness, different points of references by the means of our senses. We can do that. Now, in the same way, as we are multidimensional, we are one in the sense we are the source. You and me are one. You and me are one. You and Buddha are one. You and Jesus Christ are one. You or any other master that you think is one. or even what you perceive, who you perceive as the bad guys are you. It is the part of you, within you, who is out there. Because remember, everything is one, everything is from the source. We here, based on our choices, based on our thoughts and belief systems, we start creating our realities. So again, this is my favorite part that I want to mention again, is based on our awareness, based on our frequency of what we are living in this present moment, we are creating our reality. Our energy, our frequency is being projected out as our reality, and the characters in our reality, the experiences that happen, is created. We attract those people because of our frequencies, our vibration. And now, being a multidimensional being, I can travel through different dimensions by just merely shifting my awareness. If you want to be in touching mountains, you can just shift your awareness to that mountains, and you are there. You are there. You don't need to leave your body and go anywhere. All you have to do is shift your awareness, because you are a multidimensional being. You can exist everywhere at this moment. Let me repeat that. You can exist anywhere, everywhere, just by shifting your awareness, by your consciousness, in different levels. And you perceive that information. The more we practice this, the more you start getting that information within you. So for me, now talking about prayer for me is, me and Hanuman are the same. So in the spectrum of frequencies, now this is where it gets interesting. In the spectrum of frequencies, let's for easy, for to make it easier, I'll say, let's think about the radio stations, different stations that you have: 90.9, 100.1, 100.2, 100.3, 101. So the different stations that are happening in the present moment, all are happening in the now. Now, based on how you tune yourself, you will listen to the information that is being broadcasted in that channel. Now, within us, our cells are both transmitters and receivers. We transmit messages and we receive messages in the same time, based on the channel that we tune in. Okay, so we have the capacity, the potential to tune into any channel. But what comes into the way is our own belief systems, is our own limitation, self-limiting belief systems. I can't do that. I'm not a master. I am just merely a average person. You thinking that you are just merely an average person, or you can do that, you are not a great psychic or a gifted person. We create our self-limiting belief system, whatever that area may be. It can be in your career, in your life, in your relationships, in your health, any limiting belief system. When we have that, we cannot tune into that frequency, because that limits us to go into that station, broadcasting station. So we can never experience that. So when we start removing those distortions of limitations, we put on ourselves, we ourselves put on ourselves, not somebody who created it. We put on ourselves. I can't ask for a raise because I don't think I'm eligible. How do you know? Because we put that on ourselves based on the past programming, based on what we hear, based on the stories that we tell ourselves or we hear from others. And we believe those stories. And those stories become our programs, and not allow us to tune in to the station that you want to tune in so badly. Because when you tune into that station, you're projecting that movie in your reality. It is a projection. As you touch that frequency, you project it. So anything, illness is a frequency. So when you are ill, you're vibrating in a certain frequency. All you have to do to heal yourself is shift your frequency to that of healthy, to that of whole health. And you are no more ill. You're not anymore ill. You're not anymore vibrating in that depression, in that anxiety mode. It is just a shift of consciousness, shift of awareness, shift of your frequency. So prayer, now let's talk about prayer, is that I exist. So I exist in all these different radio stations. And probably the radio station of the favorite master that you follow, maybe it's an archangel, maybe it's a Jesus Christ, maybe it is Buddha or Krishna, anyone that you resonate to, that station is high up here. And you have the capacity to call upon the station, to raise, to elevate yourself to that station by just focusing your attention to that. So when I do, what is prayer? Prayer is generally calling upon your own self, calling upon your own self to support you, to assist you, because you exist there. You're a multidimensional being. You exist in that frequency. It is not the Krishna conscious. It is just a consciousness. It is a station. It is not a real person or anything. It is that consciousness, that awareness that we try to attain. And we can attain and we can come back to this normal station. So it doesn't mean when you, again, it doesn't mean when you have a very great experience of being in that, seeing ascended masters or angels or anybody, you vibrate in that frequency all the time. We must make sure that we are elevated in our frequency every second, every moment. We need to be here and check on ourselves. Where are we here? Are we here? And being authentic. Because these are all the ways that you vibrate. When you are vibrating in authenticity, you become light. Let me repeat that. When you vibrate in authenticity, when you vibrate in gratitude, when you vibrate in compassion, you elevate yourself and you become the light and the information, and you will start receiving and broadcasting messages with that of the higher frequency. When there is fear or doubt, that immediately lowers your frequency and you're no longer in that elevated state. You in that moment you come back to this, no, to the lower state. So we fluctuate in frequencies. So it is important to see in that moment. So when I do energy work, the first thing that the protocol is that we have to be grounded. We have to be in the moment. The moment we leave this time, the space, I'm not grounded. So I'm not a channel of energy. I'm not a channel of energy anymore. So it is very important to be any kind of practitioner, whether it is a bioequipment practitioner or a energy worker or Reiki healer, whatever practitioner you are. It is important to be in the present, to be grounded. That's when, to be authentic, that's when we become the beings of light. And the manifestation happens at that moment, being a conscious creator. That is the moment it becomes. So first thing is understanding that everything is a vibration. A thought comes in, that is a vibration. We must try to elevate ourselves constantly to be in the higher vibration. If you are serious about manifestation, if you have big goals, and this is who I work with, insanely ambitious women who are ready to manifest and do not take an excuse for failure. There's no excuse. There is only plan A. There's no plan B. There's only plan A. And how do you make it happen? By getting clear about what your goals are, because thoughts become things much faster. If you have no clarity, you're going to attract chaos into your life, confusion into your life. So be very clear about what you want. Removing self-limiting belief systems and installing empowering winner mindset. This is the biggest piece. This takes years, guys. This takes years. This is not easy. But we do this work intensely, amplifying with tools, with spiritual tools, with affirmations, with understanding the law of attraction, understanding manifestation tools, which I've learned from different masters, from books, from my own experience, and fine-tuned it. That gives you results. And bringing crystals, because crystals are this high frequency tools that entrain you to raise your frequency, because the goal is to be in that higher frequency, so that you're manifesting, the power of manifesting increases, bringing pyramids into your life, removing distortions, understanding energy work, understanding self-healing. These are all the different tools that I work with, and incorporate this into my practice, into the work that I do. And I'm getting absolutely amazing results. Amazing. It is no joke, guys. It is not a joke, because how long are we going to live a life just settling and thinking we can do this? It is not for us. It is only for certain lucky people to live their dreams. How long? It is time to take back control of our own lives and start making it happen. Start living our dreams, and dream big, massive, massive dreams. Really massive dreams. And we can do this. You can do this. I know you can. I know you can absolutely do this. So thank you very much, guys, for listening to this video, and let me know what your take is on, and how you perceive this whole concept. All right. Thank you very much, guys. And again, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this channel. And please share this channel. If you think that anybody can benefit out of the videos that I'm doing, share, and please let me know. Give me your feedback. What is working for you? What is not working for you? So that I can create more videos on and give exactly what you are looking for. Thank you very much. And you can check out my latest events on paripatri.com. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye.